Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here to talk about, as always, Fair Weather, another Warner Brothers Archives collection, because that is what I'm doing this whole month, I guess. It's gonna be all of Warner Brothers Archives, so get ready. So to start it off, I had heard about this movie through the Cobweb channels, just like I heard about the other one, and I bought it about this, close to about the same time, but I bought Libeled Lady for my mom to have for her for Christmas, and I bought It's Always Fair Weather for myself. I'm gonna eventually buy a Libeled Lady for myself. But anywho, so It's Always Fair Weather is a story about these three guys right here, who are all um they were all basically army guys who have left the war, and they've been together for like 4 years. They're like best friends, and they have made a pact that basically like a bet that for $1,000 that they would all meet up in 10 years to show that they would still still see each other. But 10 years goes by and they really don't see each other. And things begin to happen where their lives are completely different than what they were before. And it's sort of darker than most musicals in a way, which I kind of liked. Um, but it was nice to see it because it was so more of the story. They end up meeting because one of the guys, is a producer for for like a TV show. He's like an executive producer or like investor kind of thing, and he works in Chicago. And now he's come back to like I think they're in New York, and he comes back to visit. And two of the guys, I mean the two guys have kind of left the town, and Gene Kelly's character has stuck around. And he's become this gambler, and he has now tried to like basically set his life straight by becoming the manager to this boxer. And on the road there, they all meet up 10 years later, like they promised to, and they go out at night on the town, and but they realize they're just not the same people they used to be, and they don't like each other. They kind of are frustrated with each other. Not, one of them has really bad stomach issues and can't drink or can't do things, so he has to, they have to kind of go by what he does and whatnot. And he's the rich one. The other two guys, one's a hick who owns a what is it? They call him a hick. That's not me calling him that. He's a hick that runs a hamburger place. Uh, and then Gene Kelly, being who he is and being the kind of the gambler slash boxing manager, he ends up just they just don't like each other. And so they end up getting attached to this how to explain it. So they end up going being part of the show, but they don't know they're special guests. They're the special guests. So they kind of all get courted by different people. And we kind of see that, and we hear beautiful songs and original songs, and they all, do that. And this girl, played by, what was her name? Sid Charisse. She was wonderful. So she kind of is the leading lady, and she's the one that the Gene Kelly falls in love with. And Gene Kelly's character is just this guy who just doesn't like himself anymore. He doesn't like who he's become. He wants to get out of it, but he really doesn't know how. And he thought this girl was going to try to change him, but she doesn't, which is kind of the neat little thing. Is like she kind of goes with him. She accepts him for who he is, and mainly because she wants him to come to the show and everything, and he doesn't. He kind of gets that later, but they do have a thing for each other. They kind of like each other. And so uh there are two really no, I want to say three really great songs that I loved. The first one was there was a song where they're doing this stuff, like they're out in the streets, they're up on taxi cabs, they're doing all this crazy stuff, singing together. The other one, another one is one where they're saying she's a knockout, and they're at the boxing place, and she's singing, and it's just really nice scene. Um, a nice song. And the third one is my favorite, which is where he's on roller skates and he's talking about how he's starting to like himself because of her and her liking him for who he is. And I just thought that was sweet. So all in all, it was a very cute movie. My biggest problem with it was the other two guys as characters were a little bit more bland. I heard like Frank Sinatra and another actor were up for the parts, but they wouldn't want to pay Sinatra because he was sort of hard to deal with, and they didn't want to pay the other guy because he was asking, I think, too much or something, and or he wasn't a big enough name at the time anymore. And so they got these guys, and these guys were great. Like they did a great job, I'm not gonna lie. Toward the end they were really amazing, but like honestly, when I started seeing them go through their stuff, I kind of wanted to go back to Gene Kelly's, situation and everything. I didn't care as much about what the other guys were doing. Um, and their stuff was kind of boring to me. Like their songs were even kind of boring that I just wasn't as interested. But Gene Kelly's stuff, I was just enthralled with what's going on. Basically, one of the guys, his boxing guy, has already agreed with his, with somebody else. I think his former manager, to throw the fight. And or well, I know he agreed with the other fighter. They like rehearsed it, and the fighter comes up to Gene Kelly's character and starts talking to him and about it, and he didn't know about it because the fighter didn't tell him, and um I think because he thought he'd be disappointed or whatever, um or maybe it slipped his mind. I don't know. Anywho, when he finds out, he gets really upset and knocks the guy out, which causes him to sort of throw the fight or like not have the fight go on, and because of that they people lost money or lost whatever. So the big racketeering bookie guy comes after him, and there's some great stuff with that. And then he gets on his roller skates and starts roller skating, trying to get away from the people, and then he starts roller skating and singing that song, I Like Myself. And it was just cute. Him roller skating, it was real. He actually roller skated and tap danced. So it was just a lot of fun. And I enjoyed every single minute of it. I think everybody did a great job, and I was very, very impressed. It's a musical I've never heard of, so thank you, the guy who does Cobweb channels. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna have to look up what your name is by the next time so I can actually like say thank you again. But he had recommended Libel Lady, he had recommended This Is Fair Weather. So the next one I'm gonna do, I won't, I'm pretty sure he'll own, but I don't know if like it would be something he necessarily recommends or not. I have to look that up. But yeah, this was amazing. It did come with like a featurette called It's Always Fair Weather Going Out in a High Note. Um, it has three outtake musical numbers: The Bench, Jack and the Space Giants, and Love Is Nothing But a Racket. Um, two segments from an MGM parade featuring Sid Charisse and Gene Kelly. Two classic cartoons, Dippity Troopy and Goodwill to Men. Audio only bonus, I thought they'd never leave. Outtake. So it's got some stuff on it, and I'm very happy because it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. So thank you guys for checking this out. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, also let me know. It seems like a this isn't as well known as Singing in the Rain, which is also directed by Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen, but it is um sort of up there with like, movies that people enjoy like that. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.